The College Dropout, Kanye's debut album, and the album that finally made Kanye impossible to ignore. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, let's take a look at what made The College Dropout such an impactful and memorable album. Kanye began working around this concept of the college dropout around 1999, taking 4 years to complete. These official album-related recordings took place at the Record Plant Studios in Los Angeles.
Anyway, what you finna rap about? You never sold crack out your house or put a gap to your mouth or put a fist to your spouse. So how you gonna move the crowd? I bet 1,000 that you get booed out. I even heard that they even taking ways in jail. You bet 10 boxes of cigarettes that I'm finna fail. If you talk about peace, they gon' be like peace. This nigga came from the shy, moved to the east.
However, as Kanye's manager John Monopoly claims, there's certain parts of production that is featured on the album that reaches far back in Kanye's previous beat work before the idea of this album was ever considered. At this same time, Kanye also set up a home studio in his 2-bedroom apartment to continue working on the album as much as he possibly could. With progress on the album going immensely well, it seemed that nothing could stop Kanye's flow to creating his blowout debut.
MTV, I know who you are. You did take over. Do you get beef with times?
I did take over the game. Brought back the soul. Got tracks to go. Got plaques to go. Platinum and gold. Yeah, that's the flow. All I know, I got the flow. When I don't play calls, I'm from Chicago.
However, upon the supposed completion of the album, it was leaked online. All the hard work and effort that Kanye had put into his passion project seemed to be forcibly taken out of his hands and thrown to the people without his consent. This prospect didn't faze Kanye though, as he evaluated the situation and decided that the best course to take was to get back in the studio, postpone the album, and remix, remaster, and remake certain songs. Nothing was going to slow down Kanye's creative flow, refining the production on the album, adding new sections to songs, and even writing extra verses. It was around December 2003 where production on The College Dropout officially wrapped, eventually being released on February 10th, 2004. Looking into the album's content, Kanye immediately creates an original, ambitious, creative, and unique path towards not only the production, but debatably more importantly, the lyrical content. Firstly, the production was a revelation at the time of its release, with Kanye's notable chipmunk style as well as a heavy focus on soul sampling and orchestration making his sound distinct, distinguishing himself from everything else that was currently being made within the rap scene. But on top of that, Kanye inserted his heartfelt and diverse lyrics, touching on themes of religion, sexuality, family, materialism, and internal struggles. It may sound strange now due to how personal rappers have gotten in their lyrics since this, but touching on these themes in a self-reflective and at times self-conscious way was a completely new outlook on what you can do within the constraints of the rap genre.
Oh, nothing could prepare you. I guess if someone had sat down and mentored me or something before I came out, but no one really sat me down, so that's the reason why I went to a lot of interviews and I accidentally said how I really feel about stuff, and I didn't know you weren't supposed to do that.
You can do that here.
I didn't know you're supposed to like speak from you weren't supposed to speak from the heart when you got an interview, so I made that mistake.
Whereas before, gangster rap ruled every aspect of hip hop, purely focusing on aspects like gang culture, violence, and drug dealing, Kanye broadened what was possible to talk about.
People feel like an artist, they be like, yo, if you're an artist, you can only rap about this one subject. You have to stand for this specifically. I'm gonna stand for everything I've seen in my life. And I'm gonna try to express that to y'all the best I can. And I feel like I'm creative enough that I'm gonna make it work, you know what I'm saying? I think about what I'm doing. Like I figure like, okay, I wanna express this message, but maybe I might have to get another artist on it and place it like this and put it in this vein. Like I'm not just gonna step out and just be like, yo, just look at everything I have right now and then the world not accept it. I gotta put it in a way that the world will accept it and then develop it into being an artist. And when you see me on stage, like a lot of times, I feel like I'm very animated, I'm very emotional because what I say means so much to me that eventually the people are gonna have to accept it.
Jumping into some of the key tracks, such as Jesus Walks, immediately shows this distinction in Kanye's vision compared to everyone else's, making an entire song praising Christianity, which at the time was an outlandish stance to take, with Kanye even acknowledging this within the song, claiming that they can say you can rap about anything except for Jesus, that means guns, sex, lies, videotape, but if I talk about God, my record won't get played. Taking a look at another track, Through the Wire, recounts Kanye's devastating experience after his near-death car crash, struggling to deliver lyrics through his jaw, which was at the time wired shut. It's claimed that he intentionally recorded this song with his jaw wired shut so that the world could feel his pain. This track also shows Kanye's chipmunk production style off prominently, using a sample from Chaka Khan's song Through the Fire in the chorus. There are also several skits featured on the album, something that was more commonplace in old school rap albums compared to today. All these skits and interludes revolve around the idea of a college environment, with the intro of the album being a scenario where a school administrator asks Kanye to inspire the kids who are about to graduate. This then leads on to the song We Don't Care, which is a song all about not conveying to societal norms, hilariously celebrating the act of drug dealing and contrasting that to college education. Whereas there are several examples of skits on albums being an intrusion and disruption within the listening experience, the way Kanye weaved these into the concept of the college dropout, whilst also employing musicality and genuine humour into them, they are not seen as an intrusion and only enhance that album experience. Going back to the concept, we can primarily assume what the album will be about purely when looking at the title, The College Dropout. This would most likely link back to Kanye's decision to drop out of college in order to more heavily pursue and prioritise his dream of becoming an established musician. This is a theme that persists throughout the entire listening experience, with the wide variety of topics that Kanye touches on, all essentially boiling down to promoting the message of self-belief and self-love within a person.
Jay is Kweli's favorite rapper. 50 is Eminem's favorite rapper, and I'm my favorite rapper, because I visualize everything at once. So I think about what it is I want to portray. I think about how people will react when they hear this. I think about how they react to a certain point in a song.
On top of this, the album cover features the first appearance of what would soon become a trademark of Kanye's work, the Dropout Bear mascot. Upon its release, The College Dropout was met with unprecedented amounts of praise from critics, fans, and also those who were unfamiliar with Kanye's presence up to this point. It was praised for its social commentary and its unbridled range of topics which Kanye did not shy away from touching on.
I'm trying to give out love, and hopefully you just get that back. You put out that positive energy and you be a cool person. Just be who you are, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Certain people, I feel sorry for them. They so fucked up and different things happened to them. They might have been abused or this happened or how they've been treated or whatever. They had to go through to be so defensive, and they say they have so many poison inside of them. It's hard for them to just really act right when they're around other people that are just not trying to attack them or trying to, you know what I'm saying? You know, I like when Jay-Z said, show you how to move in a room full of vultures. Isn't that like you don't really have to change who you are and start saying, I'm going to be a snake, I'm going to be that. You know what I'm saying? Just know you can't let people use you or misuse you. Life is about using people, though. Just don't misuse them. You know what I'm saying? Right now, y'all using me for this. I'm using y'all for the exposure. It's working all together.
It was also praised for its unique style of musical production and the relatability and fun personality that Kanye managed to convey throughout the album. The album avoids any cliches from the era that it was released, straying away from heartfelt songs within the genre more akin to R&B, but also not going the route of gangster rap. Instead opting for a perfect divide between both, creating something that was distinctive, introspective, and self-reflective. During its first week of release, the album sold over 441,000 copies, debuting at number 2 on the US Billboard charts, only being beaten by Norah Jones with her album Feels Like Home. It remained in this spot for over 3 weeks, ranking as the 12th most popular album of 2004 on the Billboard 200, selling around 2.3 million copies solely in the US by November. Fast forward to 2021, and the album has gone down as the 14th highest selling rap album in the UK in the 21st century, with over 4 million copies being sold worldwide. All of this in turn naturally added up to Kanye becoming an international superstar in an extremely short time span, with The College Dropout having the perfect result of being reviewed immensely well whilst also being a mainstream hit. Since the album's release, the influence that boomed out of Kanye's first creative and ambitious venture has been immense, with aspects like the chipmunk production style becoming something that was used much more frequently by other artists. However, as previously mentioned, the largest influence came from Kanye's personality, lyricism, and overall message, essentially sparking the next generation of hip-hop artists to be less fearful about how they'll be judged in relation to what they choose to talk about on their albums, and actively broadening what was possible to be talked about within a rap album. With this newfound fame, however, who knew what Kanye was going to come out with next? Well, we'll be touching on that in our next part of our Guide to Kanye West series. If you guys enjoyed the video, a like, subscribe, and a comment on what you thought would be hugely appreciated and supports the channel immensely. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.